All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the startup middleweight track opening ceremony session. We have here at least most of our middleweight track companies. So could you all guys just raise your hands? Woohoo! And then we have also quite a few investors in here. So the point of this session is just to have you all in the same room, meet and mingle, keep it very casual. And also, before that, I would like to invite Risto Siilasmaa, who is the founder of F-Secure and also like one of the, let's say, most prominent angel investor in Finland. He knows everything about startups and startup scene. Welcome, Risto.
You know, the great thing about Slush is that it's a bit of a chaotic event. And in that spirit, as I just a couple hours ago thought that I would be dropping by, I was asked if I would be able to come up and say a few words here. So nothing has been planned, and that's how it should be. Entrepreneurship at its best is also a little bit similar. And I have been an entrepreneur all my life. Entrepreneurship for me, it's a little bit like a religion. It's not a job. It's not a job description. It's a way of life. I have never had a boss since I was in my teens. I have started one company that I IPO'd, was the CEO of that company for 18 years. I have invested in 35 startups, roughly. I have co-founded one venture capital company, which has raised 2 funds. I've been active with startups on all continents in the world. And startups is just a wonderful thing for me because I believe that entrepreneurship is the one solution and the only solution for the systemic challenges that the world faces. I almost believe that the world as we know it will be destroyed if we don't come up with transformational innovations coupled with entrepreneurship. We face overcrowding. We have a huge population challenge. We lack resources. The globe doesn't produce as much as we spend. And you all know this. The assumption is that we are currently spending 1.2 times what the world produces every year. And if we all lived like the Brits, we'd be spending 3 times what the world produces. And if we all lived like the Americans, we would be spending 7 times what the world produces. And what we are witnessing now is a huge transfer of affluence from the Western world to the Far East. And there's for example, just in China, a 300 million strong middle class that has full right to enjoy the fruits of their hard work as they are gaining capital. And they have every right to use that. The problem is that the world cannot afford for them to become more affluent. We have huge challenges with the environment. We have the global warming challenge. All these challenges are things that any responsible individual, and especially any responsible politician, would be quite focused on. Because these are the huge challenges that will affect all of us. So how is the world reacting to these challenges? Let's think about EU. Do you know what is the number one thing that the EU is funding to solve the issues or create the future? What is the number one thing? 1/3 of all subsidies in EU and all EU member states goes into one thing. What is that? It's agriculture and coal mining. Very slow growth, low productivity items that will definitely not solve any of the challenges that we face. 8% of those subsidies are spent in R&D. So 32% on coal mining and agriculture, 8% on research. Completely short-sighted, only interested in getting re-elected, not visionary at all, not responsible at all. I believe that entrepreneurship and innovation is the one thing that we should all be encouraging. I have been involved with Slush from the first thought of an event, before the name even was invented. And I have been here every year and seen how this grows. And I think this is a celebration of entrepreneurship. And it's just wonderful. These kinds of events give me faith in the future. One of my favorite sayings comes from George Bernard Shaw, who said something like the following: there are two types of people. There are those who see the world as it is and ask why. And there are those who see the world as it never were, and they ask why not. And you can interpret this in many ways. You can say that the people who see the world as it is, they are sort of the smart people. They are the practical, pragmatic people. And the people who see the world as it never were, they are the dreamers, they are the misguided. But I'd like to say, or see this in a different light. I'd like to see that the first description applies to scientists. They see the world as it really is, and they want to understand why. How does it function? And the second description applies to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have a dream. We see the world as it will be, as it never has been. And we ask ourselves, why not? And then we go out and start changing the world. But we also need the people who understand how the world works. But we need to provide the vision, the direction. And Slush is a great event for us to communicate that vision, all of us in our own way. So it's great to be here again, and I hope you have a great socializing event. You bantamweight people here, enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Risto. So, yes, please stay here, meet each other. There's another event starting here noon, so I don't know if we are allowed to be here, but still then. But let's hope for the best. Thank you.